Good evening, it's Monday night, it's RaceSpotTV. We're here for round number 10 of Monday Night Skippys from Belle in Detroit. Well, it is a beautiful day here at the racetrack, and I thank you all for joining us. Rachel Weifel and Sprostrom with you tonight, and Linus, we're looking forward to quite a run around here. 15 laps around this 14-turn street circuit here on the island, and looking to be a fun one. We've got some great drivers lined up, qualifying times are looking great.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting racing, how these people can navigate between all these walls, and the Skippys being very fragile. One little mistake is going to end your race and could cause a huge pile-up as well, so everyone's going to have to be very, very patient, especially early on here, and qualifying is looking pretty close as usual, so I think we're in for a pretty good race here tonight.
Certainly are, of course, and, well, street circuits always carry that penalty that Linus talks about, just how close things here are. And that will definitely shake things up for the drivers here. Time running out now, we should see the checkered flag on our qualifying session, bringing this one to a close. We'll see some final guys come across the line, but in general, Linus, this is going to be a no room for error sort of race. Like you said, one wrong step, you're in a wall. This is what makes IndyCar here so difficult. This is exactly what makes Skippys here also so difficult. Going to the grid for you guys. Claire Hughes with the pole position, 143.095. Second place, Jake Ridlington and Simon Edwards sitting there in third of the grid. We've got Adam Miles, Ben Daniels running at your top 5 with Clark Williams, Anthony PM Jones, Sam T. Spineri in P8 with Ewan Patterson and Anthony Catt in 9 and 10. Behind them it's Paul Grello, Nicholas Vaughan Roberts, Matt Cox, Jack Bladden, Lee Anderson, Martin Booker, James McRitchie, Aaron Gearing, Daniel Tufts, and Neil Bamber. That's those positions on your screen. And Linus, our 1 second bracket here, actually really short today. We're looking at basically 13 cars, or just under.
Yeah, it's pretty spread out at the front. It's close all the way through the field, but the first few guys are pretty far out in front compared to some of the others. And interesting as well, we've seen some really fast guys usually, like Lee Anderson qualifying in 15th, so Anthony Catt back in 10th, so that's going to make it a lot harder for them. It'll be interesting to follow these guys, see how they can do it.
Yeah, absolutely is, of course. And, well, we're going to get ready for this one to kick off here and see how well the guys could race at Belle Isle. Just a few seconds left before we kick this one off today. Round number 10, only 2 left to go. We're going to start taking into account, of course, those drop weeks as we come towards our season conclusion and the championship here. Engines rev. Green flag flies. We're off here at Belle Isle. This first section with a sweeping right-left to start the race. Tricky in the rain, I know, for the IndyCar series here. We've had some big pileups coming out of turn 2. Everyone's going to flow to be largely single. Oh, a bit of contact already. A little bit further back. That was towards Nicholas Vaughan Roberts back there, who's too wide coming out of turn number 2 right now. Cars behind them all filtering through here on the long run down towards Firestone turn. The first big braking right-hander. Lot of these very sharp corners. Guys locking up behind them as they come through now. Down Picnic Way here towards turn 4. And then we get the big kink left for the Caesars Windsor turn. Cars all pushing through now. Coming up onto the waterfront here in the Strand Drive.
Oh, we got Alan Patterson, Isara Streeter, Tim Madcock, Seth Brown piling up back here around turn 4. That's not really going to help those guys. I think some of them are getting going again, but they pretty much stacked up and blocked the whole track. I think people somehow managed to get through though. Some damage to some cars there, but one car actually flipping upside down as well, so that's going to see at least a couple of cars out of the race, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's unfortunate early on here in the race as we've got some contact again. Oh, big moment there with your leaders around this as well. Trying to work out what exactly happened here, Linus, but we had a big congestion. 13, which is Mark Booker, PM Jones. Yeah, absolutely massive here. The cameras for me, Linus, are being a little troublesome right now in terms of showing me what and where this happened. But things just got incredibly spicy.
Yeah, they got a bit closer between PM Jones and Sam T. Spinell coming out of, I believe that's turn number 7, and PM Jones just got a bit wiggly, and then people behind just piled in.
He hit the 9 of Patterson, then he goes into the guardrail collects the 33 of Cat, and then we've got Grillo going into the back of Cat there and turning him around, and lots of bits of car parts and cars going over each other. We got a flipper over there, and wow, that one got dramatic real quick, and we lost the back end of our top 10. Leaders, though, still going to be clear. Hughes out front with Simon Edwards in second place. In fact, it is side by side here between those two. As Hughes will keep control of it, with Ridlington now in third place. Edwards in second. Daniels or Williams back up into the fourth spot. Daniels relegated down to fifth here. The guys really pushing to make this one a little bit more spicy as they come down Strand yet again. Heading up here towards GM turn, and before we have the very extended Linus kind of chicane. It's not really a chicane, but it is. They return to Strand 5, of course, but they come through here. GM turn into Porsche, into Bosch, and then into Audi. So it's an overextended kind of bowl, let's call it.
Yeah, it's
less a bus stop, more a truck stop.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty extended, like you said, but still some overtaking opportunities, even though it's very, very tight. So still got the first 6 cars in the knot here, and then a couple of cars about a second behind. So not all too spread out just yet, but these 6 guys looks to be the ones to watch for now. And Lee Hughes holding on to this lead. Simon Edwards though having a look all the time as much as he can, but it's just so hard to pass around here. And these guys behind Jake Ridlington especially is sitting there waiting for them to make a mistake, and here comes Edwards again, but he can't do anything. Coming across the line, he's going to have to stay behind. The straightaway just isn't long enough, so he needs to set up a pretty big run if he wants to do anything. Here comes Ridlington though. He gets up really close, and he's actually going to have a look now. Coming down into turn number 3 around the outside, I believe that's going to be. They're going to be side by side into a really hard braking zone though. He's going to be late on the brakes there on the outside as well, but Edwards with the inside is going to get him clear. Is he? No, he's not quite, but he's going to have the inside for the next corner. So Ridlington is just going to back out of that, and Edwards is going to hold on to second place.
Yeah, passing here is pretty difficult, of course, and all these guys have been picking up bits of damage throughout this race so far. Shouldn't be in too much trouble. Getting into pit road is relatively easy here. And of course, this is probably the one track in the entire racing calendar where the wheels come off your car in record time. Whether they go back on again or not is another matter. But we digress. Lee Hughes gets a bit of a gap here over Edwards. He has quite a bit of space. A big advantage for him, but that will come back together. This is a fight with Ridlington and Edwards here. As you do see there, Ridlington once again pushing on the outside. Not really going to have a line here, but he'll hold the outside. This should give him the inside now for Porsche. And it does, in fact, which is wide, and through will come Clark Williams looking as well at the open door. Edwards trying to be safe. Ridlington really being aggressive here. Although Edwards goes back around the outside, we'll have the inside now for Audi. Gets through, stacks up a lot though, but this should allow them to run it back at speed here without really worrying about the fighting.
This is allowing Lee Hughes to pull away though. He's got over a second now down to Ridlington. He's got almost a second down to Edwards, and Daniels go through there as well up to 4th. So this is really holding them all up quite a lot. See if they can catch back up now to Lee Hughes. Otherwise that little bit of battle might have just ended the race. You don't really get much draft around here either, because you're just constantly turning apart from that long back straight, but that's about it. So see what they can do, and the guys behind have caught up as well. So Pattinson and Spinell are back in this battle too, and now I don't know if Edwards got a bad exit or if he got a slowdown, but they're 3 wide down the back straightaway. Daniels up the inside, Miles up the outside, and Daniels is going to take over 3rd place. Miles is going to go up into 4th, and Edwards, he might actually have damage. I'm not really sure what's going on. But Miles still on the outside of Daniels. Still going to be side by side, and Daniels is actually going to clear him there on the inside.
Certainly is. Daniel still trying to find an opening here as things will evolve. And we're getting separation now at the front. Hughes, Ridlington both got big gaps now over the rest of the pack here. And Daniel's leading the way here in this second pack. 3rd place for him right now, ahead of Williams and Edwards. Actually, that is Miles. I got that one wrong. Sorry, Adam Miles there ahead of... I think I'm having a stroke. Ahead of Simon Edwards. There we go. My brain's disengaging. I'm not sure why. Clark Williams right behind him there, with Patterson behind him and Spinnerell at the rear of that group. So we've got already like an 8-car grouping here, Linus. We've got Cox trailing behind them by about a second or two. Not really involved in this fight. Grillo's there as well, including having picked up a little bit of a damage or so in that first contact he had with the spinning car PM Jones, but looks to be still running relatively fine here back in 10th.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job holding on back there. So the top 10 pretty separated out from the rest of the field now. P11 is about another 7 seconds back, so unless something happens here, these guys are pretty much going to be the top 10. On that last lap, when Edwards lost all those positions, he actually smacked the wall pretty hard coming out of this very corner right here. So he might have some rear end suspension damage. You can see now he's losing a little bit of speed down the straight again. So he's having some sort of issues after hitting that wall. So he's definitely going to struggle for the rest of this race. As Miles has to look up the outside, Edwards has to lock up the brakes to not run into the back of him. And Pattinson is right there looking to get into the top 5 now.
Yeah, it's definitely looking to try and... Oh, we've got a slow car there on the outside. Trying to work out who that is. I think it might be a lap car staying the heck out of the way there, Linus. It is, in fact.
It's Jonathan
Says
Rex.
To one side. Yeah, Rex trying to get out of the way there, not trying to get involved in the fight here. Just
Weaver is
dropping out
about
the
to
running
get lapped
order
as well, so that's going to make things interesting for this group.
Yeah, that would totally make sense there. Weaver just up ahead of him. Behind him is Clear Hughes, the race leader. Oh, as he goes wide, spins across the track. Cole, bit of his wing hits the race leader there. That was nearly catastrophic for Clear Hughes, as that could have been really problematic, Linus. We saw the rear wing there bounce across the circuit, clip the car, so hopefully he's okay, but it looks like under pressure he just ran a little wide there, slammed into the outer wall, and debris came back across the track, so we don't know whether or not Clear Hughes' car is okay or not, but lucky he didn't hit him after he ricocheted back into the track.
Yeah, thankfully he was able to hold it in the wall there, and I think he quit out the session as quickly as he could just to get out of the way, so that was a good job by him, even though obviously put them all in a very bad position. And I think Sam T. Spinell actually has disappeared from the top 10 as well. I'm going to see if I can figure out what's happened to him. Oh, he... just right after they passed where that lap car crashed out, he just turned in too early and hit the inside wall and just parked it. Don't know if he must have hit the wall earlier, because that car did not look very healthy right there. He just pulled off to the side and pretty much stopped. So one of our top 10 is out of the race, so that's going to promote Jack Bladen up into 10th, and Lee Anderson is now up in 11th, with Aaron Gearing about a second and a half behind him. So the fight for that last top 10 position is back on.
Certainly is, of course, and we'll have to see how this one does play forwards. Ridlington catching it on Hughes here. This could be another breakout chance for him to take a victory again, Linus. He has this season already once. Could he do it this time? That would be exciting to see, of course. Daniels and Miles still running there. In fact, Miles running ahead of Daniels here, with Edwards chasing him down. We're on lap 6 of 15, so quite a lot of the race left to go here. In fact, a huge amount of time still to go in this race. So plenty of time for this to evolve, and from what we're seeing, but catching lap cars, passing lap traffic is about 3/4 of the battle of this circuit. It's so narrow and it's a little room. One mistake puts them in real peril.
Yeah, you'll just lose so much time racing side by side, and it's so hard to pass. And you can see these guys that's been battling, they're over 2 seconds now back from the front two, with Adam Miles leading the way, but Ridlington catching up to Lewis. If they start battling, these guys behind close up pretty quickly. So see if they're going to play it smart at the front, or if Ridlington is desperate to get into the lead. But for now, it's Liu still leading the way, and here comes now Daniels having a look on Miles, but he can't. He's not going to do it into turn number 1. Maybe he's going to try and set him up into 3. He's going to get a pretty decent run. He's got to get a pretty decent run off this corner. It looks like Edwards still struggling with that turn right there. Now he's got Pattinson right on the back of him again, but nobody is going to make it move. They're going to have peaks to the outside, but don't think it's going to be enough. Oh, here comes Edwards up the inside, and it's going to lock up again. That's going to promote Pattinson into 5th around the outside, is it not? No, Edwards can hold it.
Edwards, of course, has the inside line here for what is, of course, going to be Firestone there. Gives him an opportunity to hold on to things just about. Actually, our Caesars wins there. I do apologise there. And dropping down now through XM and onto Strand. That was a really brave move. I didn't think he was going to go for Ben Daniels there, but that was definitely perhaps a move of frustration there, Linus. Watching the leaders drive away here. Opportunistic is the word I'd use.
Yeah, it really was. I don't know. Edwards seems to be really late on the brakes into that corner every single turn. It's just the guys around him that are earlier on the brakes, but it's really hurting him. So he's still got Pattinson right on the back of him, and the guys behind them have dropped off slightly as well. But the leaders are extending the gap now. It's up to almost 3 seconds down to 3rd place. So this is definitely helping the front too. As Cat is continuing to struggle as well, all the way back in 24th from starting 10th. One of our championship contenders who is pretty much out of things today, unfortunately.
Yeah, certainly is not looking the way he would have liked to see that one here, but a lot of time left for them to change things. Approaching the halfway point, but not. Actually, we are just at the halfway point here, Linus. And so far, Hughes is running away with this one, although right on his heels is Jake Ridlington. Then it's about 3 seconds here back to Adam Miles, Ben Daniels, Simon Edwards, and Ewan Patterson in this second group. Behind them, Paul Grillo and Matt Cox running. Well, Paul Grillo's running ahead of Cox and Williams. Williams just made a big dive here on Matt Cox and should have the advantage.
They're going at it back there as well, but it's obviously holding them up too. But for now, it's Williams holding him off. Cox, though, having a look. He wants to get through, and they've got nothing to lose because they've got over 8 seconds to the car behind him. So pretty much, if they know they're not going to catch up to the guys in front, then they might as well just go at it. But it's Williams leading the way among these two, and Grillo pulling away as well. Happy about these two battling, and it looks like they're actually going to spread out slightly here. Cox struggling with that exit, so Williams is going to hold on to P8 at least to the end of this lap by the looks of it.
Yes, it is, of course, as we see the drivers coming through here. Bosch down towards Porsche, back onto Strand Drive. Leaders and the second group. Second group definitely getting a bit more ferocious here, but you pointed out something earlier, Linus, that Paul Smith, RaceSpot Zone, of course, 44th to 15th. It's been quite a bit of attrition, as we can tell.
Yeah, it really has. And behind him, we've got Neil Stevenson and Chris J. Morris from 45th and 46th, up 19th and 20th as well. So, guys making it up through the pack from the back, but it's still, we've still got 43 cars on the lead lap, so it's not that many people that have dropped out actually. So, a lot of racing all the way through this field, but the usual names starting at the back and finishing towards the front, they're doing a pretty good job having some good races.
Yeah, certainly is.
Another move by Ben Daniels at the front. He's going to be up the inside now of Miles, but it's not going to be enough. And Edwards is going to be there as well. He's going to have to back out, and nearly got squeezed into the wall. I don't know if we had contact or not, but that's going to put Pattinson up into 5th. Oh, and he hits the wall.
There. Yeah, there was contact. He actually squeezed Edwards out into the grass there, and yeah, he hit the wall himself there, allowing Edwards to squeeze through. It looks as though Daniels... Actually, that's not Daniels, is it? No, that is Patterson. Looking very squirrely here, Linus. He's looking incredibly squirrely. Sliding all over the track there, perhaps overusing what he's got on this machine, but he's trying to have speed. I don't think he has in a vehicle. He's been all over the place here, and contact may be kind of toning down the aggression slightly.
Yeah, he's been trying to get into the top 5 this whole race, and when he finally does it, he hits the corner, he hits the wall, sorry, after about 2 seconds, so got a bit overexcited there, thinking maybe he could get some more straight away, but now he's right behind Simon Edwards. Now both of these guys have been in the wall pretty hard, so see if that'll even it out a bit between them. But we still got Ben Daniels all over the back of Miles. He's trying to set him up. He runs into the back and loses a bit of his nose, and he goes into the wall as well. That was pretty bad. Here comes Edwards. He's going to look to the outside, so that's definitely going to hurt Ben Daniels. That is probably not going to help him whatsoever. That should see him drop out of the top 5 here, I think. But see if he can get a move back here. And Edwards, he closes up to the back of him. Here comes Pattinson as well. He's going to move to the outside, so Daniel's probably just going to have to give that up, unfortunately.
Pattinson looking for a hole, won't be able to find one here as they head down towards Firestone. He's going to pull alongside, diving in. Oh, contact with Pattinson as he just had to lock up so hard. Linus says Edwards on the grass there. And oh, you'll push him wide again. Oh my gosh, Daniels wants to defend that hard, but he had such a shallow line into the corner, he was going to basically park it on the apex. He did so, of course. Patterson didn't recognise that. He plowed into the back of him there, not very hard, but...
Oh, we got a move for the lead.
A small furrow. We do have a move for the lead. Jake Ridlington on Hughes here. Ridlington up the inside as they're going to come towards... At the turn in here for GM. Drops back down. Hughes will have the lead into the corner again. Ridlington testing the water.
Yeah, they've got about 3.5 seconds to play with, so but there is also over 5 laps to go, so they have to be patient. The 1 second they start battling, these guys behind are going to close right back up to them. So they've already closed in about half a second on this lap alone. So as soon as you start going side by side, you just lose so much momentum. And Ridlington is just recognizing that, trying to find where he can make the pass for the end of the race, but not completing it. So it's going to be interesting to see where he decides to make that move at the end. But for now, it's still Liu's out front leading this race. Here comes Ridlington again, having a look, but he's not going to do anything.
Side for fourth, here it's Patterson, Edwards and Daniel still working on this one. Edwards has gotten through here again. Can he maintain it this time? Bit of wall contact there for him, scrubbed the wall. And Daniels will get an overspeed here, as will Patterson, but will it be enough by the corner? He's going to have to go around the outside here, a shallow line forced onto Edwards. Can Edwards take control of it? He pushes out. Daniels this time is at the inside. Look at Patterson, 3 wide here. Down in towards the next corner, and they'll both go past, but will they make contact in the aftermath? Nearly. Here comes Williams behind them, and Grillo, and the other cars. Cox. This is definitely heating up a lot here. Cox, yes, absolutely. I forgot his name for just a second. Patterson going to try again here. Edwards, these guys are really turning the temperature up, Linus.
They really are, and Adam Miles is loving this. He's disappearing off in the sunset with third place now, 3.5 seconds ahead. As here comes Pattinson again up the outside of Ben Daniels. That'll be into the next braking zone. Edwards backs out though, and Williams is right there behind him. So these guys who were content on racing for 7th, all of a sudden they're racing for 4th. So they're all going at it now. Edwards is definitely going to have to watch out, and these guys behind him, they've kept it clean. So while all these 3 ahead have hit the walls and hit each other, so they're definitely at a disadvantage even though they're ahead, but they've still got 4 laps of racing to do, so a lot can still happen. But it's Daniels holding off Pattinson, see if he can set him up. He's probably not going to do anything into turn 1, but coming down into 3, I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a move. Maybe he will coming out of the last corner here. Daniels goes defensive. Pattinson going to look to the outside. Edwards is there as well. But I don't think you really want to be going side by side through 1 and 2, so they're going to try and set him up through here. But this is a turn where we've seen Edwards struggle all race long. See what will happen this time around. He's actually going to get it pretty good this time. A little bit loose on the exit. Here comes Pattinson. Moves to the outside, and here comes Edwards even further to the outside. 3 wide. Down towards the corner. Williams is going to make it 4. He's not going to quite get there. Bandana is going to be late on the brakes, so he's going to clear them both. He's going to go sideways. Edwards in the wall. Pattinson through to 3rd. Williams up to 4th. And Daniels all the way down to P number 8. So
Edwards just scrubs the wall there as we look at the replay here, and it's all the big, huge outbraking maneuver we saw there from Ben Daniels as he goes in super deep, locks up, spins the back end, goes sideways. A bit of a scrub there by Edwards. Patterson dodges through as well. Grillo brings up right now, and we've also got coming in there Clark Williams diving into the action too. This one just went up a huge notch here on the racetrack. Leader of this group now going to be, of course, Patterson here, ahead of Williams, ahead of Edwards, Grillo, Cox, and behind them it is going to be Ben Daniels relegated to the rear after that big drift through Firestone. Up towards the front, Ridlington and Hughes still running. Hughes still leading. Ridlington hasn't really, other than occasionally looking, Linus, hasn't tried anything yet. Is he waiting for this? Is he saving it for the last run?
Well, either he's got nothing for him, or he's trying to save it till the end to make sure that Adam Miles doesn't get any closer, because at the moment Miles is actually the quickest car on the track, so any sort of racing between these two is going to promote him. And we got Simon Edwards into the wall back here. He's made some contact coming. That's actually Williams went into the wall, came back out from it, hit Edwards, and I believe that's Grillo as well. But Edwards went into the wall, and he is going to be out of this race. Very unfortunate. There is, you can see that was just pushing too hard from Williams getting up there, and well, nowhere to go for Simon Edwards, unfortunately. But Ewan Pattinson now gone away by himself in 4th place, so it's a race for 5th now, with Cox, Daniels, Grillo, and Williams at the back of this pack, and now he's hit the wall pretty hard as well. So I think the only car that hasn't hit the wall, as far as I know, is Grillo, but doesn't look to hurt him too bad. Cox still ahead here, and Daniels back up to P number 6.
Here we go. This is the move now. Finally, Jake Ridlington's going to take it on lap 13. Looks to the outside there on GM, heading up towards Porsche now. Not going to have a chance. 2 lap cars ahead of them. This could actually bring an opening here for Jake Ridlington here on Clear Hughes. They come through Bosch down towards Audi. Back onto Strand Drive. Is he going to find the opportunity? Tries to get the best run through the corner. So far, Clear Hughes just really being super smooth, Linus. Taking every opportunity he can, keeping that car in perfect condition. And Ridlington's really struggling to get out of bed early enough to find a way past.
Yeah, he really can't do anything. He's got about 2 laps to do it now, and with these lap cars coming up of Gary Bacon and Michael J. Taylor, that might just be exactly what he needs, as he has a look now outside of Lee Hughes going into turn 1, and that's not going to help him. He's going to get super tight out there. He's going to have to lose all his momentum. His best overtaking opportunity probably would have been down here in the next braking zone, but he just took that away from himself by trying to go around the outside in turn number 1. That is not something he's going to do on the next lap, I don't think, because down here is where he'll want to make that move. But obviously this time he's too far back, so maybe he'll try somewhere else around the lap. We'll have to see. But for now, it's Lee Hughes leading the way. Ridlington right up to the back of him, so see what they can do. And Grillo and Daniels going at it behind him as well now for 6th and 7th. That's Grillo failed to make that pass actually, so Daniel's going to hold on to it. So these guys also racing now up to the last lap, and Cox has pulled slight gap. So if Daniels and Grillo keep going at it, Cox will pretty much secure that 5th place as well. But it's not over yet.
Not even close to being over yet here.
Lap car in the wall!
It
right
was
in front of our
leaders,
leaders,
and that was on GM.
Word.
And that gives opportunity for Ridlington to dive up the outside there, as we saw Hughes have to slow down. And Ridlington gets through to the lead here. This is his opportunity. He found it finally. The patience pays off. Ridlington found that one moment where Hughes had to check up to avoid getting wrecked up, and he managed to get through there on the entry to GM corner. Heading off Strand now towards the end of this lap, heading on to our final lap, in fact. Jake Ridlington will come across the line to get the white flag here at Belle Isle. Can he hold him off for a lap, Linus?
It's going to be interesting to see Lee Hughes if he sets him up now through 1 and 2. I think we're going to see a pretty big move going into turn number 3. But once again, we've got Michael J. Taylor and Jonathan Rex up ahead. Don't know if they're going to catch up to them, but it's a good exit from Ridlington. He goes a lot wider than Lee Hughes. He was being a bit too safe there, I think. Here comes Hughes, though. The only place on the track pretty much where you have the draft, and he's going to dive it to the inside. There's barely not any room, but he's going to open that door up, and Ridlington is going to give him the room that he needs. They're going to be side by side off the corner. They're almost going to make some contact here, but they're not going to touch just yet. Still going to be used up the inside. Ridlington on the outside. He's going to have the momentum coming up on that lap car now. It's Ridlington with the inside line for the next corner, and he's going to take that lead back. So Hughes now, where is he going to make that move? He's going to have to try something where they haven't passed each other yet.
Well, the time's checking up here as Adam Miles is closing in. He's been on his own for a while now. Miles in 3rd place, looking for a podium here in Monday Night Skippys. Might get his chances. The lap cars get the out of the way here of your race leaders as they head in towards what I'm going to call the truck stop now. It's a bigger bus stop. Through GM into Porsche, then Bosch, then Audi. Ridlington still leading the way. This is where he got that lead last lap, don't forget. As they come through Bosch corner now towards Audi. Through the kink. Audi corner here, big right-hander. Back onto the remainder of Strand before the final run. Not really another passing opportunity here. This could be it for Jake Ridlington. Can he take the win in round number 10 here at Belle Isle? It's looking like it could be that chance. Clear Hughes led all race. It will not be here at the end of the race when it counts. Jake Ridlington going to come to the final corner here with a good bit of breathing room under the Chevrolet bridge. He'll come. Jake Ridlington will take the race win. Clear Hughes in 2nd, and Adam Miles, uncontested, will come across with his 1st podium in the series, taking 3rd place there, and a fantastic result for him. Hughes, well, that's one way to park it. Patterson comes across with a great 4th place for him. Matt Cox there in 5th place. Daniels, Grillo, Williams, Bledden, Anderson in 10th. Linus, that was a pretty fantastic end to the race there.
It really was. Unfortunately, it all spread out towards the end, and there's not that many overtaking opportunities. But Ridlington, he was patient, and it definitely paid off. So really, really good run from him there. And well, he did get the win, so that's good. We still got a race going on here for 17th and 18th. That's Sean McGovern and David Dawson, and he's going to send him into the wall. That's a huge crash for McGovern in the second to last corner, so that's going to see him not finish this race, unfortunately. That was actually, well, he almost went outside the track there.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Bit of
Wow.
a wheel hanging on by one of the safety straps. That definitely changed a little bit for those guys, but controversial ending. It's always got to be one at one race, Linus. Either way, we will be right back after this short break with your post-race results and the interviews, so stick around.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series, and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Braden Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Loma is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett low. 4 wide at the stripe. For all he's worth here on this outside line. Neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out? Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron, drag race to the line. It's so close to call.
Welcome back to Monday Night Skippys here. We'll go to your post-race results. Coming home with the win today, of course, it was Jake Riddington with that last lap move. Claire Hughes in second place with Adam Miles in third. Ewan Patterson and Matt Cox rounding at your top 5 there, with Ben Daniels, Paul Grillo, Clark Williams, Jack Bladden, Lee Anderson in 10th place. Behind them, Aaron Gearing, Darrell Taylor, Simon Maltby, Paul Smith, Paul Carey in 15th, Adam Catt, Dave Dowson, Mod Kiko, Chris Morris, and Simon Edwards limping home in 20th from third on the grid. Rest of those positions on your screen. And we get a chance, Linus, to talk to Ben Daniels, who came home today in 6th place from 5th on the grid. That looked like a real tussle, Ben, in your group.
Yeah, hi Rachel. Oh, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can.
Yep.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, heck of a tussle. Apparently I got no incidents when I look at all the scores, but my car was sort of turning right most of the time when I was going straight. So I had touched the wall a few times, had a few good battles. Unfortunately, we lost Adam. The other two obviously got ahead. They did really well. Bit of a battle. Lost Adam, I think, when Simon dived up the inside or outside, which is fair enough. But then we lost him, and that was it. So it was just us racing against each other and hitting the walls. So it was all good fun, but very sweaty.
It certainly looked that way. What's it like to drive on this circuit with absolutely no room for error?
Do you know what? When it came out, I got it obviously, but I thought, I'm not gonna race this, not gonna like this very much. But yeah, it's excellent. So it'd be good if they do bring other street tracks out. But yeah, you know that just one split second is a touch on the wall and more likely damage, and that's it. So, but yeah, I did quite a few laps in practice this week. Didn't do a race at all, but got around to it tonight. Yeah, a bit disappointed in 6th. So I was hoping for top 3 or 4 or something, but yeah, it was really good battles with the other guys. If we did touch, sorry about that, but it's bound to happen here.
This sort of things happen, of course. Either way, thanks for joining us, Ben. Linus, I don't think we've actually got anybody else to talk to today, but we will wrap things up here as we head into the final 2 rounds, of course, and things will get pretty spicy with the last couple of rounds on the line. Thank you for watching. I've been Richard Wyford, joined by Linus Bros, Jim, and of course, Tyler Maxon on the cameras as always. We'll see you next time.